Look, if you don't make music, you might think this is bad. But if you do make music, you might also think this is bad. What's up, dude? How you been? It's been a minute. Haven't seen you in a while. You're looking good, I think. It's been a minute since I made a video. Been wanting to make some weird videos, just some funky production stuff. But I've had a full plate with releases and shows and appearances and kissing hands and shaking babies, you know, all that. Life's been pretty good to me in terms of music. With that said, I wanted to challenge myself here in the studio a little bit. Set up a little challenge, maybe do it again in the future. Today, I wanted to challenge myself to make a drop centered around one single sample. Literally, just use one sample to make every single sound in the drop. It's not gonna be easy. Honestly, I think I'm in way over my head, but we're gonna see what I could do. Now, I realize I do need to set some ground rules because if I go do one thing, you're like, but Proppa, what the fuck? So here's the rules. I'm gonna take one sample, and with that sample, I'm gonna try to make every single sound. If creating a sound with that sample is literally impossible and I'm wasting my time, then I'm allowed to use the sample as a wavetable in Serum, but only if all other options involving just the sample have been expired. With that said, I'm gonna give you guys a quick word from my sponsor, and I think you're gonna wanna hear this.
Honestly, I was lost. I was just looking everywhere for answers. I was just failing in all aspects of life. My wife, my kids, they couldn't even look at me when I came home. I lost my dad when I was 8. Everything I tried was just dull, flat, one-dimensional. Turns out, he was just in the living room. He fell asleep on the couch. I knew that there had to be a solution to my distress. That's when I got the text from my friend. Proppa's Patreon completely changed my life. Proppa made me feel like a kid in the 70s again. Proppa helped me get over my childhood trauma. Thanks to Proppa, I have over 600 Serum presets and 500 samples to choose from. And they're all handcrafted by one of the best. His tutorials are just so easy to follow. I have the fattest bass lines out of all my friends. I wouldn't be half the man, the producer I am today, if it wasn't for Proppa's Patreon. Now, I'm never out of ideas, and it's all because of Proppa's Patreon. Thank you, Proppa, and your Patreon community.
Join the millions of producers who have received ads about Proppa's Patreon and be a part of the 100 that are subscribed today. Some assembly may be required, battery sold separately. Some side effects may include but are not limited to nausea, drowsiness, general malaise, belly aches, owies, and the uncontrollable urge to put your motherfucking hands up. Proppa's Patreon and company is not responsible for any spontaneous combustion of your computer while making these hot beats with their sounds.
Get the help you deserve.
On top of everything you just heard, I do see a lot of comments asking for mastering and mixing tips and legitimate tutorials on YouTube. Let me just say that I do tutorials for drop gun samples and I do tutorials on my Patreon. I don't need to do them in a third place. My YouTube is for fun production stuff. So if you want tips and tricks from me, follow us on Drop Gun Samples and subscribe to my Patreon. With that said, this is gonna be fun, I hope. Let's get into it. My sample of choice today, I want to go with a snare. For some reason in my head, I was thinking about what's going to be the easiest to convert like into a kick, into a hi-hat, you know, use as a clap, stuff like that. In my head, I'm like snare. That's the only thing I can think. So I'm going to go through my Patreon samples. I don't know if I have a folder for them here. Probably this one. Okay, where do we start? I mean, I'm gonna put it down as a let's get some placements down. We'll start with where it should be for the clap. Now, I don't want to use it direct as the clap. We might have to. We'll see. I'm gonna have to replace my ghost kick. Mind you, this is my template from Patreon, so things in here already. I want to work on the kick first, though. All right, so we got it. Where the kick would be, you know? There's a few different ways to go about turning it into a kick. This is gonna be really interesting. Now, I'm gonna try a couple things out. Let's first start with, let's get a couple channels going. I wanna just hear some things. I wanna hear what it sounds like when it's tuned down real low. All right, so see the subtexture we're getting there? That's really good. That's a really good start. Okay. Let's start there. That's gonna be our low. This is gonna be our sub kick. Let's just focus on getting that thud to start. I'm gonna cut the highs off of it, get rid of that hiss. Oh, all right, check me out, fam.
All right, check me out.
I'm gonna go isotope, transient shaper. Let's get that boom. Dude. Oh, little clip. Little clip didn't hurt nobody. Next thing I'm gonna do is an actual clipper. Love this free one from Cymatics, for drums specifically. Somewhere over here. Next thing I wanna try, Cashmere Essentials. A little Band-Aid. Usually don't use it on the kick, but like here we're trying to like force that transient, get it nice and leveled. I'm just trying to cheat it a little bit. Not bad. What if we did all of this before the transient shaper? Ooh. Okay. Now the last thing I want to try is like when I need to just do something quick, just type R kick drum. Watch the auto gain though. Okay. That's a good start for a sub bass for the kick. I'm going to take that to a new audio channel. Okay. And then let's get some of that clip off the EQ. Oh, it's just clipping. I got an idea. Let's see, we're using dynamic EQ here to... Yes! Hell yeah. It's gonna be loud. See what happens when I take that to audio? Yeah, see we got that big boom now. You know what I haven't used in a long time, and since I'm at the beginning of the project I could use it, is Neutron 3 Sculptor. I just want to see what would happen if I do like percussion kick. Jeez! That is starting to sound like a legitimate sub bass for a kick. And see, there it gets latency. That's why I don't like to use it a lot. I think we got a sub kick here. All right, that was some work. Oh, I'm not excited for the rest of this. Let's work on the top part of the kick. Sounds like the same key. All right, we're gonna try something different for this. Now, I'm gonna whip out LFO tool here. And obviously, if you haven't figured out by now, I'm allowed to use plugins. It's other samples and like synthesizers I'm not allowed to use. So I want to use LFO tool and do maybe a low pass movement. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's doing something. We're going to do the same kind of like a similar approach. Actually, before the clip, I want to hit it with multiband saturation. Really stress the mid here. Give it that little boom. Hit it with the clip. That's nice. Hit it with the EQ. Probably gonna get a lot of phase shift here. Like a lot. No. Sick. Okay then. Bro, we're starting to get a kick. That is clipping like all hell. That's stacking up way bad. Let's do this now. We're gonna put them in a group at this point. Look at this fucking process, bro. I'm gonna edit this so it's gonna be short, but for me it's already I'm 10 minutes into just this kick. All right, so we got them in this group. I'm still not gonna touch the group though. That's better. Oh shit, man, we're really getting somewhere. Okay, we're gonna do this again, except this time we're gonna do that. Let's bring this up. Make it tighter. I like what it's doing. Let's just shift the focus up here. Now we should have a fucking kick, dude. What? I made a kick from a snare. All right, now let's get a little extra through a group mix on it. A little warm saturation, mix down. Little tube saturation, mix down. A little high band tape saturation, mix down. Okay, a little clearer. Give it another one of these, but way less. Okay, one fab filter cleanup. Barely any phase shift distortion. You love to see it on that roll off. Getting that a little bit off that peak. Getting a little bit off that peak right there. See, I fought back the phase shift distortion with those little cuts on the peaks. So now we're back at -8. I'd say that's pretty fair. Repeat this through. And I just want to record that out.
Harry, it's you that has to go on. I know it. Not me, not Hermione, you.
Okay, so last thing I want to do, let's get that to here. I want to find the best one though. What looks like the strongest, like this looks really strong. And then that's what's going to be the one that I copy through. It's short, which I like short kicks. That means I don't have to cut it or I don't have to fade it really too much. We have a kick and that's as far as I'm going to go with that because that was a fucking process. Editing this is going to be... So, we got our kick. Let's look at a clap. We'll get the body and we'll get the high frequency transient over here. Just like that. I'm going to shorten them all. Okay. Look at the low end here. Pull this back. How am I going to turn this into a clap? I think it needs to be tuned down for sure. And then I think what needs to happen is while in polyphonic, they need to be stretched. Shorten, fade out. I don't want that transient to be like faded necessarily, but I also don't want it to be like so transient. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do it yet. I know. Let's just pull that off just like that instead of. Okay, now this is fine there. We need that mid slap though. So we're going to go into here and it needs that same lengthy effect to it. Take a little bit of attack off of it. We got too much low end on it through this thing, so let's... All right, now next thing I want to do is take this one, duplicate it, slightly take that off, like here, then shorten it, maybe tune it up a step, do the same thing, take it down, take it here, maybe go up another step, even shorter maybe. Now I'm going to take like one left a little bit and one right a little bit. Let's see. A little more delay on it would be good, a little less fade. Kind of getting that clappy vibe to it. I'm going to resample that through. And then I think I want to manipulate the audio from there, like from a resampled version of it. That one looks fat. Something I want to try doing now with this sample is tuning it down a few steps to get like a little bit more of like a vintage clap sound out of it. Let's see. That's good. So let's try an enveloper. Tiniest bit of front fade, good amount of back fade. Man, it feels like we're just going to make a minimal tune up in here, honestly. Whatever happens, happens. And then let's just keep fucking with it. Let's try stretching it. Ooh. Okay. It doesn't sound too much like a clap, but I'm going to leave it. Actually, now here's what we can do. Take this, duplicate it, boom, 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 boom. Let's take this delay up a bit. 18 ticks, fine. Delay up that much. A little left, a little right, a little tune up, a little tune down. See the center one. Let's try taking that up. Still fucking around, even though I should be done with this part. All right, I think that's going to be it. And I'm just going to take this like this. And we have this one right here that we can now add our fade to and act like it's a clap. It'll work. I mean, the fact that it came from with a bunch of stacking and weird shit, we got this for a clap. All right, let's do some hats. Gosh, this is going to take forever, isn't it? I mean, the hats aren't going to take forever, but just making a beat, I think we got to narrow this down to just making a beat. This is a challenge and a half. All right, so we're going to do an open hat to start, and I'm going to start by just placing the snare where an open hat should go. I really like how this just kind of like pushes the boundaries of how I need to, like, it makes you think outside of the box about mixing, basically. I think that's what what kind of attracted me to doing a challenge like this. Yeah, see, I figured that this would be actually super easy. I mean, that already pretty much sounds like a hi-hat. Not much you got to do on account of that. Let's just hit that with a nice fade down curve. Let's shorten them all a bit, too. We're making a minimal tune here, boys and girls. Let's see. Dude, send this to Ben Sterling just right now as is. All right, let's get some closed hats in there. Shouldn't be too hard. We're gonna just take this. I want to put it at a slightly different pitch, so let's go like 2 steps up. Shorten the hell out of it. And that's pretty much a closed hat right there. Maybe take my drum reverb bus down a bit. I want to make a hat sequence out of this, so what I'm gonna do actually is make like this. We've got a slightly longer one, and we'll give it a little more body. Make sure that's kosher. Yep, and then we'll go down a step with it. Then let's do it one more time. This time, let's do even tighter. Bring that curve to like there and make it like a hard curve down. And then actually, let's do one more open one too. So we had this. Now let's do like a longer, higher pitched. Wow, that really... Oh my... This goes to show how 808s and 909 samples, how they made drums using the same, bass sounds for the most part. In fact, if I remember correctly, the only 808 sound that wasn't made from fake noises was the crash cymbal. There it is right there, bro. We got an extra piece to the hi-hat. I'm going to take that. So I'm going to go into this sampler. This is all my Patreon hi-hats. We're going to go here. We're going to go open hat 1 here, open hat 2 here, closed hat 1 here, closed hat 2 here. We'll go the other even shorter one here. Okay. They all need to be one shot. So we have a hi-hat sampler now. Let's turn off all these and try to make a hi-hat sequence. Now, let's start with that one. The other one's going to be kind of a building piece. So we'll start there. Get all the downbeats. Now let's get some of these offbeat ones. Get a little nice groove going. This one needs to be retuned now that it's in here. Oops. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. All right, we got something. Now what I want to do is do that again here, but this time I want to like focus on kind of like a tambourine style groove. So we're going to go like that. We're going to quantize them. We're going to go into the zones, take all 3 of these and pitch them up. Okay, I'm going to cut the lows. I want to actually now do something where I use resonance in my favor to get that kind of twangy sound. So let's go here, tighten this, just like that. And then I'm going to give it its own reverb. All right, I'm going to take that to audio. And there's my shaker tambourine loop. For now, let's just give this a good right pan and this a good left pan. Cashmere Essentials. Come on, guys. I mean, I did this with just a snare drum so far. This is all just a snare drum.
I can't believe you've done this.
This is one single snare drum. And we got a beat. All right, let's take it one step further and let's just get a little like percussion sound going here. Now I have kind of an idea of how I want to do this, and it's just kind of going to be a little bit of manual fuckery. Take this here, make it real short. Turn that reverb off for now. Cut the lows. So we're going to copy this over here. I'm looking at my swing grid up here. It's kind of locking onto it for me. I'm going to just do some random ones here. I'm gonna put out 16ths to start, right? 16th swings. We'll go for 2 bars. And then I'm gonna find some random ones to get rid of. Move some stuff, like change some things. So instead of it being there, we can go the full 4 there. So we got that. Let's do some really weird pitchy stuff with it now. So I'm going to go like up 10, down 13, up 7. All right, I'm actually going to copy that through. So now we got this. Cool. Sounds horrible, but I'm going to make it work, I promise. I want stereo delay. Okay, that's going to work. We're going to do it twice. For now, let's just take that to audio. So we got this little... Something I like to do is immediately get on LFO tool, and I will do like a 16th note sequence type deal here to start off like the choppiness of it. I don't know if you guys can hear the siren in the background. I've got multi-effects, step effects. It's a great plugin from Logic, stock Logic. We're going to try some different stuff. I really like self-generating sci-fi. I'll turn off the reverb and the delay. I'll actually put this before the LFO. Because I don't feel like doing too much here. Get drums, focus on the transients. So this would just create some texture. Just took that to audio, turn that up. Once again, I'm going to hit that with a transient shaper. A lot of times when I do this too, I'll get those low-pitched squeaks, and then I'll take this up like almost a full octave. Except I always make sure to go rhythmic. And then the last thing, when you have the piece here, then you can swing it based on your grid. So might be too high matching up with the hat, so let's go like +4. We've got a motherfucking beat. Man, I'm dreading going on to the bass line. So I've thought about a few different things to do the bass line. It's going to involve the sampler. My initial thought, I want to see how this plays out. There's 2 ways I think I could go about this. I'm definitely starting to figure out how I can create the synths. But with the bass here, let's see. Here we go. So I want to put this in classic mode, loop. Now we need to tune this to my... Whoa! I fucking knew this would work! All right, we need to tune it. So I'm hitting the E note, and I need tuner. I know that's not E. I blow myself away sometimes, bro. First motherfucking try. Let's get it. Bro. Horrible, but we're getting somewhere. All right, we need to get rid of that tail for sure. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Heavy distortion. I first want to mess around with isotope trash. See what we get. It's always Add Muscle that does it for me. It's probably going to be it. Add Muscle. Let's see. Add Muscle. See what happens if I just lay down some MIDI notes. All right, let's try some things here. Okay. That's the filter and the quick sampler. I mean, I can mess around with. Let's make sure this is polyphony mono, and then now we can get the release. I mean, that's not so fucking bad. Keep it simple, like Phrygian. Let's keep it Phrygian. That works for me right now. Okay, I'm calculating here. I mean, come on. So far, all of these sounds have been made with just a motherfucking snare. Now that we have that set, I do want to mess around with potentially making the loop tighter to see if we can get like a tighter sound out of it. I know we can. That's how oscillation works. Get nice and tight there. It looks like it's it. And then what I would have to do is take this down. Oh, shit, dude. Versus. Oh, that's hard. All right, let's use this one as a stab. Why not? So this is what we're going to do. Dun, 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 right here. It's just going to be this, is a stab, and then I'm going to cut all the lows off. Let's get the double hit on the downbeat here. I feel like it needs that. Cool. And then what I think I want to do is a little reverb. But like small room. I don't like it there, like this. Okay. I still don't like the attack on it.
Dodge this, you bastard!
Probably better. Dude, that's sick. I thought this was just gonna be way fucking harder than it is right now. So. Not that this sounds good. I don't think this sounds good. But just the fact that this is all snares is blowing my mind. All right, I just want to come up with like a quick like synth. Now, there's a few different ways I wanted to do this, and I wanted to demonstrate a cool little trick that I know. So I guess this is kind of a tutorial in a way. I love in Ableton, this is a warping granular. It's the warping mode you don't normally use between Complex Pro and Beats. It's the other one. Hey, hi, yeah. You just unlocked Video Editor Proppa Skin. It was texture warping. I'm a dumbass. It's texture warping. For us, it's tempo phone. And I'm going to take this and stretch it. And if you stretch it a lot, you get like... So if I stretch it enough, I'll get like an E note out of it, right? Getting close. Right there. So I'll take that, take it to audio. We can lower that down a bit. And like you could use it as like a big, you know, lead in from the drop, like. And then you can give it like a big, I'll give it Valhalla Room. Sounds horrible, but it's something. And then you can also mess with it. Like I'm gonna try, we'll go up an octave with it for no reason. Right there, I mean, kind of tells me I can just, instead of have it be this long thing, I can go like 2 Let's do it here, and then let's do a little false drop. There, mute that. I'm gonna take this clap, take that to a new track, just so I can do this. Selection-based processing, Valhalla Room, big tail, add effect tail, apply, use that right here, reverse it, fade in, there, and then we just gotta mute the percussions, and then we also gotta mute the ghost kick. And we got a false drop. And then I think we need to create a crash cymbal. So let's figure out how the flunk we're gonna do that. So I got the original snare here. Let's go to crash dry. Obviously it needs to go up. What I wanna do is have, I think, 2 versions of it for the layers. The first one is gonna be this high-pitched, kind of like metallic-y attack sound to it. It has a crash cymbal vibe to it. And then what I want to do is stretch this one polyphonically to give it some white noise action by stretching, like with the stretch. So we'll go here. And then I'm going to take most of the attack off of it. We're going to cut most of the lows off of it. And then we have this. We just got to marry them together. Like that. Let's take them out of here so we can give them their own group. There it is. It sounds like a ride cymbal, bro. So then what we need to do is go on the group, hit it with some reverb. It sounds like a crash cymbal to me. It looks fine, sounds fine. I mean, take that audio sample, go way up on the volume with it and way down on here. And we have a crash cymbal. What I like to do is get short crashes. So now that we have that crash, which will be this, can take this, shorten it even more. Let's see what happens if I throw it on that beat. That sounds kind of cool. That was a snare, guys. Look at that. Snare 06. Snare 06. I'm not fucking with y'all. Proppa does not fuck around, man.
When my name come up, respect it. Put some respect on my name. You understand me? When y'all saying my name, put some respect on it.
You put some respect on my name. This will need to come in here. I feel like we need like one synth now. One like supporting synth because the beat is just so weak from it being made out of snare drums. I can't believe I'm saying that. I want to get some kind of cool synth in there. And I'm really trying to avoid using Serum to put the snare into like a wavetable. So I want to see if I can do more with that looping technique that I did. So I'm hitting D, or I'm hitting E. Tune around there. Yep, I knew it was an E. I got an ear, guys. I've got a fucking ear. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually put a video on Patreon last week about how I started to develop my tonal hearing. So it needs to go a little tiny bit faster so that I can fix that 30 cents. I didn't realize you could even do this. Look at that, we got an E. All right. Get some envelope on there, you know what I mean? Oh, it's polyphony too, so I can like... I want to get like a sequence down for it. Let's see. I want to get rid of that release. It's kind of sick, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, this is like, I can't believe all these sounds are just coming out of this snare. Too much reverb. And it doesn't feel like that would be a piece that would be on the whole drop. It feels like it's something that would come in later. I want to try something here now. Let's take this that we just created. Let's try to do a little arpeggiation with it. I'm going to change the sound, obviously. Try throwing the arpeggiator on that, finding a cool sequence, and then messing with the sound. Octave range 1. Then let's like make it more gated. We'll get that swing in there. Kind of cool. Let's see what we can do with the sound. See what happens. And technically in scale doesn't work. Let's try. Really sick and different. Would use that in a regular track. Now, I'm pretty much done here because I don't want to keep this going forever. This is going to take me forever. But I know that we're in need of just like, you know, some wrapping, finishing touches. So let's do that. I'm going to do a little fill here. And why not use the one snare that actually exists in the song to create everything? Take this into a new MIDI, quick sampler, take the snare into there, make it one shot, make it quick, only trigger one at a time, and then we shall lay down the MIDI. The one actual like sound in the entire song. And take off that little fill there. Or we could take off the bass for it. Okay, and then let's do like the crash here. Yeah, and then let's do the reverse crash. So we're just gonna take it here. Actually, fuck it, let's do the longer crash here. So now let's do the reverse crash. Process that in. Volume up, reverse, fade in, turn that way down. I'm not going to make a build up. What I'm going to do is pause it, throw my master on there, and we're just going to listen to it as is and call it a day because I can't believe I'm honestly surprised I even made it this far with one snare drum. And I've been recording for an hour and 20 minutes, give or take a 5-minute intro. Hour 15 minutes to get here with just a snare drum. I'm pretty stoked. So I'll see you guys in a second. All right, we've got my master on there magically. Took that fill over here basically. Let's hear how it sounds. Look, if you don't make music, you might think this is bad. But if you do make music, you might also think this is bad. No, I know there's some dude, I know there's some hipster out there who's hearing this and he's like, bro, that slaps.
That's a spicy meatball!
It's all right. It's all right. I did this all with a snare drum, guys. All with a snare. Let's just do this one more time. So bad. If I had all the time in the world, you know, I would throw some ambience in there with a sound. I would use the sound to make more leads. I'd probably use some more distortion to create some like bigger sounds with it. I'd probably do some things to make it like detuned in some parts to make like a reese out of it and stuff. But I just wanted to do a little fucking fun exercise here, and I've spent enough time doing it. So I hope you liked it. That's going to be it for today. With that said, it's going to be a real busy 2024 for me in the best way possible. Got lots of musical things coming up. I plan on uploading to YouTube semi-regularly if it's not with videos like this, where I'm just goofing around. It's going to be of DJ mixes from my living room, my cozy living room out there. So stay tuned regardless. I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, if you want to see more tutorials specifically from me, go and subscribe to Dropgun Samples or subscribe to my Patreon, where I put out 10 presets a week. I put out 50 plus samples a week. I put out a tutorial or two per week. I put out written text posts that have information about production and music promotion and photo editing, graphic design. I do all sorts of tutorials. I do behind the scenes updates and, you know, DJ tutorials, all different types of things. So go check it out. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for bearing with me on this cringy little snare drum built song. And I hope you guys have a great start to your 2024. That'll do, pig.